let me show you how to do the Kitchener stitch. It's a method of seaming up two pieces of knitting in a way that grafts it together invisibly so that you really can't tell that there's a seam there. So it's often used for toe socks, or it could be used on gloves or mittens or some other place where you really don't want to see a seam. To do that, you're going to finish your knitting. You're going to divide your stitches on 2 needles evenly. You're going to cut your yarns. You're going to leave enough of an end that you have sufficient yarn to work the whole seam. You're going to thread it onto a tapestry needle. And then you're going to start to do the setup stitches. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take the threaded tapestry needle, you're going to insert it purlwise into the front first stitch. So up from the bottom, just as you would a purl stitch, you're going to pull it through. Here I've decided to use contrasting color just to make it a little bit easier to see what exactly is happening. Then, once you've threaded the needle purlwise through the first stitch on the front needle, you're going to go to the back needle, the first stitch on the back needle, and you're going to insert the tapestry needle as if to knit that stitch. So you're going to insert it from the front up through the middle. And then you're going to leave both knit stitches on the needle. You're going to pull the yarn through, and then you're going to return to the first stitch. And this is the 4 repeating steps. You're going to go to the first stitch on the front needle. Previously you inserted the tapestry needle purlwise, so now you're going to insert the tapestry needle as if to knit it. You're going to pull it through. And now, because you've gone into that stitch twice, you're going to release that stitch off of the needle. You're then going to go to the next stitch on your front needle, and you're going to insert the needle, the tapestry needle, purlwise. You're going to leave that stitch on the needle, and you're going to go to the back needle. Go to the first stitch, and previously we knitted that, so now you're going to purl. You're going to insert the tapestry needle purlwise. And because we've now sewn that twice, we've treated that stitch twice, we're going to remove it from the needle. And then we're going to go to the next stitch on the back needle, and we're going to insert the tapestry needle as if to knit it. You're going to leave that stitch on the needle and return to the first stitch on the front needle. We purled that before, so now it's time to knit it. Because we've now treated that stitch twice, we're going to release it from the needle, and we're going to go to the next stitch on the front needle, and we're going to insert the tapestry needle purlwise. We're going to leave it on the needle, go to the back needle before we knit that stitch. So now it's time to purl, insert the tapestry needle purlwise into that stitch. Because we've treated it twice, it's time for it to come off the needle. Go to the next stitch on the back needle, and we're going to knit that needle, that stitch by threading the tapestry needle through. We're going to leave it on the needle because it's only been treated once, and we're going to go back to the first stitch on the front needle, and we're going to knit that because we purled it the last time. That's now been treated twice, so we're going to release that stitch. We're then going to go to the next stitch on the front needle, insert the tapestry needle purlwise, go to the first stitch on the back needle. Remember, we knit that before, so now it's time to purl it. It's been treated twice, so it's time for it to come off the needle. And inserting it purlwise. Stays on the needle. And then when you get to the last 2 stitches, you're just going to finish them off the same way. So when you come to the last stitch on your front needle, you'll have already inserted the tapestry needle purlwise. So you're just going to insert the tapestry needle knitwise and release that stitch from the needle. And then you're going to go to the last stitch on your back needle, and you previously knit that, so you're going to insert the tapestry needle purlwise and remove that needle. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to snug up the stitches to make the graft more invisible. So what you're going to do really is just go into each stitch and pull it a little bit to just make sure that those ends are starting to mesh in. And then you're going to go, then you'll go to the next stitch and you're going to pull that up. You see it's pulling that one down, pulling that edge down, and you're just going to go back and forth, snugging it all up. And so what you'll end up doing is you'll run this thread to the inside. I'll just show you, and weave in the yarns on the reverse side. So we're just going to look and say, okay, it's going to look best if we just probably do it that way. And then you'll weave in the ends, but this at least shows you that once you get the edges pulled in enough, it'll really look like it was all part of the same fabric. You can see the contrast color, so that's why you can see the seam. If we had done it in the same blue, you really wouldn't be able to tell that there was a seam there. And that is the Kitchener stitch.